everyone, I'm Bardot, founder and creative director of HouseofNyabinghi, and welcome to Rap and Chat, your moment in the month where the creative culture meet for conversation, preferably with a glass of Caribbean spiced rum and a dash of Pimm's and a healthy side of fried plantain. So let's get into it, and don't forget to click, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Our guest this month is Matthew Gordon, who releases music under the name Pie Eye Collective and resides in London, UK. Welcome, Matthew.
Hi Bardo. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Not too bad. How are you keeping on this lovely day?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. I'm okay.
Wonderful. As usual, we are going to start off with our quickfire round. And then, Matthew, you can tell us more about yourself and Pie Eye Collective, what you do, how you do it, and I guess what inspires you. What are your top tips for our audience if they want to get into the music industry? You've got 1 minute to answer these questions as quick as possible, starting now. Favorite genre of music?
Jazz.
Fave album?
In a Silent Way by Miles Davis.
Miles Davis, very bougie. Favorite song?
Wichita Lion Man by Glenn Campbell.
Ooh, I say. Now, favorite day of the week and why?
I don't actually have one.
Oh, well, that's good for you. Mine, I think, is Friday. Favorite cartoon or cartoon character?
Batman.
Okay. Fried plantain or fried dumpling?
Dumpling.
Oh, you're a dumpling man. I see. You're the first dumpling man I've ever met. Ghanaian or Nigerian jollof rice?
Oh, Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. Nigerian family, please, just look after yourselves. Calm down. We don't want no wars. All right. Rice and peas or plain rice?
Rice and peas.
Rice and peas. Okay. And we've got a few seconds left. Guinness punch or sorrel?
Sorrel.
Aye. Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. I thank you. That is your quick fire round over and done with. We may have new friends. You may have created some enemies with that Ghanaian selection there, but we'll keep that one quiet. So who, if anyone, was your greatest inspiration growing up, family member or other?
Greatest inspiration growing up would be my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, they're a classic example of where constant hard work will get you. Because like a lot of second generation immigrant families, they worked from pretty much nothing.
Tell me about the 3 most influential people in your life and how they impacted you. And it can be at any age. Alive or dead, actually, if there's anybody that's passed on.
Sure. You know what? I'm gonna be a bit cheeky with this one. I'm gonna roll my parents into one person.
Okay.
So I can then get
that's fair enough. I'm sure they'll be pleased that they've even on the list.
So yeah, parents are one for the reasons given earlier.
Okay.
The other person would be my grandmother, who is no longer with us. Just another perfect example of a solid human being.
Okay.
Yeah, just great in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, my partner, who is an incredibly huge inspiration for me. And also, you know, as all good partners should be, a source of support and family and that kind of thing. One of my big inspirations is the people I come from. So I mentioned earlier that my most recent family history is from Jamaica. Now, when you look at, there are reasons for this, and people who listen to this podcast will be aware of those reasons, but there's a very marked tendency for the achievements of melanated people to be downplayed.
Yes.
So what I'm referring to is particularly dub music in Jamaica. That stuff was made by geniuses, and it's not widely acknowledged. I mean, it is if you're in the dub community, obviously you know what's going on. But outside of that, people just kind of hear the music and just take it for granted.
Yeah.
Whereas how you need to think about it is that those sounds had never been heard before, and those guys that were making that stuff were all incredibly intelligent. Because you need to be, because, okay, so take one example, for instance, one like the kind of giants of that field, King Tubby. King Tubby wasn't actually a musician, he was an engineer, and he made radios and not radio, what service radios and lots of electronic equipment, just to give people a kind of an idea into the mind you need to do that. If you want to be like wiring electrical equipment, you need to know some like pre-advanced mathematics.
Yeah.
And you need to a higher than average level, because a lot of those sounds that those dub guys are coming out with, it was all equipment they were making themselves in their living rooms. Yeah, because they had the mathematical and scientific knowledge to do it. It wasn't an accident.
But and leading back to what you said about it wasn't an accident, it also feels as though it was an imprint from the ancestors that's been handed down. Because if you think the peoples in the continent of Africa before slavery, we had our own religions, gods, our own music, musicians, architects, bakers. We had our own everything. And then imagine those people are then removed from their homeland and their society and what they know into another part of the world, becoming enslaved people. That architect doesn't stop being an architect overnight. He's still got that understanding, like you said, of the mathematics. Those teachers didn't stop becoming teachers. So that knowledge and information does get handed down in the same way we talk about muscle memory with sprinters, with the Caribbean sprinters. That muscle memory, it's part of the DNA. It just means that we've got a collective of, like you say, musicians here with dub that's been able to translate almost that sonic hieroglyphics and the mathematics into instruments and put audio onto it that the rest of us can hear, which to us, it sounds familiar and part of family, but to others, it's like, what the hell is that? I've never heard that before.
Well, I mean, the idea that you take a song and drop out the vocal and some of the instruments. It's like, do you know what it's like? It's like Shakespeare. Yes. Where in a lot of the stories that Shakespeare came up with, we all think, oh, that's no. He was people think that those things have been around forever. It's like, no, someone had to come up with it first time. Yes. And that was the guy that did that. Yes. Whereas, manipulating, putting like an effect on the guitars that goes, chang, 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 chang. Like that wasn't, no one had done that. Also, another thing to mention as well is just the strength of the people I'm from. Even if those guys weren't descended from scientists and mathematicians, if you think of like how so someone like King Tubby, think of like how old he was, his like almost direct direct ancestors would have been enslaved, right? Which means that within like a generation or two, that guy's gotten himself back up to the highest, like the height of knowledge and intelligence. Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty profound.
Did you have a mentor through your evolution? And if so, what was so great about them?
I've had a number of mentors. Okay.
Who was your fave, if any?
Don't particularly have a favourite. I mean, because they all were
brought something to the table.
Yeah, and it's been a combination of teachers that I've had university and school. Yeah. And also, I remember so when I was younger, I played a lot in church. Yeah. And there was a musician there who, just really helped me figure out a lot of what I was trying to achieve with music. And also, was giving me kind of, because he played bass, I played piano. So for those of you who know about music theory, the bass line is very important. Yeah. So he was kind of just showing me things every now and again, and just like really simple things, but very profound things. He was the first person to tell me, like, if you're in a band and you're in doubt of what to play, just play the melody. And that was like that at the age that he told me, that was indispensable advice. I was like, oh wow, that's incredible. Even the bass line. He's like, yeah. Everyone play the melody in this. So yeah.
Okay. And it's really nice to sit and be able to speak to an artist who's come through the church pathway, because you find that was a very big thing, obviously 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 90s. Now you're not finding that so much. And it comes back to something you're saying about it. It's underpinning and giving you a foundation of knowledge that, TikTok stars or your ready-made manufactured stars of your TV music shows, they don't have.
Mm.
And I think that's why sometimes the music, when you're hearing it, it's not holding you and having the gravitas in the way music previous albums were constructed, because it's almost like it's not nourishing the soul because a specific foundation isn't actually there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd put that down to just having practical experience with music in the wild.
Yeah, in the wild. I like that. I like that.
And it's not, for me, it's not so much the church environment that's the issue. It's just the fact that it's using music realistically for the purpose it was intended to be used, which is not as a product to be sold. Yeah. But as, something a bit more metaphysical. Us both being creative people works quite well for us. I don't think it would work for everybody because there may be, unfortunately, there may be some competition, given that you're both competing for the same audience or the same dollar, let's say.
I see.
But no, in our case, it's all very supportive and kind of works in the best way possible. Yeah. So we understand the lifestyle kind of challenges and that sort of thing,
To get more updates on when the next Rap and Chat will be out, don't forget to click subscribe and leave your comments for us below. Matthew, please tell the audience about your personal evolution within the music industry. So going from, I guess, school, have you always known that you wanted to do music? And if so, how did you find the pathways to get into the industry? What support was there for you to now being releasing music as Pi Collective? Your first, I believe you had a performance towards the end of last year, your first concert performance at the world-renowned Jazz Cafe in North London. Yeah, so tell us about that evolution. I'm sure the audience would love to hear about that.
So I've not always wanted to be a musician. I started to become very fascinated with music as a teenager. Before then, things that I wanted to be included astronaut, architect.
Wow. Okay.
Or scientist.
Okay.
To say physicist, actually, not scientist. Yeah. And it wasn't until my mid to late teens that I felt like kind of a switch had been flicked, because I started listening to Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
And his music kind of just flicked a switch in my brain, and I just seemingly suddenly started to think, I want to do this. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't so much thinking in terms of career. It was just thinking this is what I want to explore for the rest of my life.
Sure. Okay.
I just want to be involved with this. And then, so my way into it was actually into music has been academic.
Right.
Because that's what made the most amount of sense to me. When I was in it, I was quite good at school.
Yeah.
So it just made sense to me to stay on that pathway. And also it's a generational thing as well, in that people of my generation school was heavily sold to us,
Yes.
So like I said, late teens started to become very interested in music. Then thought, I could study this at A level. Mm-hmm. I can study this at degree level. I can study this at master's level. So I just kept studying.
And just out of curiosity, where did you go to school? Was that in London or somewhere else?
Oh, right. So went to school in Bristol.
Okay, which is the southwest of the United Kingdom for our international listeners. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bristol, St. Mary Redcliffe and Temple School in Bristol. And then I did an undergraduate degree in music at Oxford Brookes University.
Wow, okay.
And then I did a master's in composition at Trinity.
College?
Trinity College, or Trinity Conservatoire.
Okay. So, Matt, please tell us more about your album, Salvation, which for the audience out there, you can find on Spotify and many other streaming services. Please take it away.
Yeah, for my debut album, which is called Salvation, did it all myself. well, about 90 something percent myself. There's a track there I wrote with a friend of mine called Hector Plimmer, and another one features vocal by a friend of mine who records under the name Metasheba, and you can find out about both of them on the socials and all of that. Mostly on my own, made in my living room. I say the album actually took me quite a while to write. Not to write, to get together, because the music was unfamiliar to me. So what I mean by that is the music didn't just suddenly appear. I had to work it out.
Okay.
And for those of you that listen, there's probably some things about it which seem a bit unfamiliar. And I had to work those out too. I mean, I'm a proponent of the idea that creative people are conduits.
Mm-hmm.
I had to figure out what all these ideas were, because I couldn't hear a lot of this stuff around me. So I had to put a lot of work in, just to, like I was saying earlier, hear my own thoughts.
Sure.
And hear what this music actually was. Other than all the music I've ever listened to and liked, the inspiration for the album is myself, my journey through life. If the album is quote unquote about anything, it's about that. And the titles are reflective of that. The titles are all issues that I deal or have dealt with directly.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, there's a track on there called Yandra, which combines, the idea there of that title is combining my interest in ancient religions or religion in general, and also mathematics. Google Yandra if you want to find out about that. And the track you mentioned, Gratitude. So I actually wrote that in 2020.
Okay.
During the first lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it because I felt grateful, because I felt like I had an understanding of the severity of COVID. Back, if we look at the numbers of COVID back in 2020, it almost seems like there was no problem. But I felt like I understood the severity of the problem then.
Sure.
And I was grateful that I was able to stay in my house. I was able to stay with my partner. I had, I had food to eat.
Mm.
And I feel like I was able to put that emotion into sound.
Mm-hmm.
So if the music makes you feel anything, I hope that the music instills in you this a feeling of feeling grateful or gratitude or uplifting or gratefulness, any of that kind of stuff. In so much as a musician can trigger certain emotions with their music, I hope that's what that track does.
Brilliant, thank you. To get more updates on when the next Rap and Chat will be out, don't forget to click subscribe and leave your comments for us below. So I want to open up your mind a bit. What do you think the creative world, as in the music industry, if we think back where we are now, January 2022, looking back the last 50 years of music, what we've had, if you think about what we've listened to, how things have changed in the industry, what do you think the next 50 years might look like or feel like or even sound like?
It's a hard one. I wouldn't really want to say what it would look like. I wouldn't want to say what it would sound like.
Yeah.
I think because I think that's not as interesting a question as how we're going to consume music. What that's going to look like. I think that's going to be more the interesting thing, and that will influence what it sounds like as well. Like, for instance, what I mean by that is you look at streaming services and look at how money is paid out. With Spotify, for instance, a fee is only accrued for a stream if it's listened to past 30 seconds. So what you have now is a lot of artists trying to make sure that the song is hitting within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So that people don't skip it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, there's how music is consumed, changing the way it's made. Because I think, this isn't really a think, it's actually a fact if you do your research, that there is no new music. Everything just keeps getting recycled, which I think is the beautiful thing about it, actually.
Okay.
We just keep finding new ways to reinterpret all the stuff we've got. We've got all the pitches already exist. All the ways of combining them are actually scratched out. yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to look at music technology, because the next 50 years of technological innovation are going to be incredible. We're going to see more technological change in the next 50 years, or as much in the next 50 years as we have in the past 100, if not more, because that kind of thing always speeds up.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably fair, unless you've got a foot in like the emerging technology world, it's probably a bit unpredictable, actually, what's going to happen next.
Okay.
There's probably someone in a lab somewhere who's working on like some new technology which is going to change the way we all listen to music, but I don't know about this. I think I'm not going to make a prediction here. I'm just going to say it's going to be interesting to see what happens with how music is made as well.
Okay. Given
that, again, technologically and in terms of the economy, the average workforce behind a piece of music has been shrinking. Whereas, think of, so last 50 years, put out a record, whatever, in 1972, and there's at least, there's a good like half a dozen people involved in the making of that.
Sure.
So there's the band, there's the engineer, there's the producer, there's the A&R, there's the artwork people, there's, you know what I mean? There's all those jobs have just consistently over the past 50 years been whittled down.
Right.
So I think, it's going to be interesting to see like just how many people it takes to make a record, given now that AI technology is getting very, very good. It's still at infant stages, but the ability for a computer just to spontaneously generate an original piece of music that people will listen to and accept is rapidly becoming a thing.
I see. I see. What would be the title of a book about you if your worst enemy wrote it?
He didn't talk to me, probably.
He didn't talk to me. All right, there we go. That's that one. If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be and why?
I'd like to be remembered for, personally, for being honest and always giving people what I think to be the truth. And creatively, I put a lot of effort into the music I make, so I would like to be remembered for my work.
Matthew Gordon, thank you so much. This has been your Rap and Chat. Thank you, and look after yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Bardot. Thank you to everyone listening.
You're most welcome. Thank you.